and welcome to the Sailing Show. And of course, I'm a bit of an imposter, Chris Stafford here, daring to host the Sailing Show when I'm not a sailor, but I am fortunately joined by someone who knows a heck of a lot more about sailing than I do, Annie Lush, who's down in New Zealand recovering from an injury that she sustained on board Team Brunel during the Volvo Ocean Race. And those who are following the race will know that it was quite a serious accident, but she's here to tell us all about it and talk about sailing and the rest of what's happening in the world of women's sailing. Annie, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing much better now. I'm on dry land. Thank you.
It was pretty serious. Just do a little recap for our audience, if you would, Annie, as to exactly what happened, because it was pretty dramatic, wasn't it?
I had an accident on the sort of 7th day of the last leg, which was from Cape Town to Melbourne. And the particularly tricky part of that leg is that means that at that point we were sort of deep in the Southern Ocean already, and there's really no way back from that. So the best way was to carry on. It was a relentlessly windy leg. I think we never really saw less than 25 knots, and we saw 60 knots, at one point. So very windy, big waves, very cold. I'm fortunate I was on the aft pedestal grinding, and I just got washed off it and sort of into the back rails, by a big wave. So probably washed about 3 meters across the deck into some wire. And when I went to get up, I couldn't move my right leg. And, 10 days later, once I got ashore, found out that I'd fractured a bone in my back and turned my foot.
And you're on the road to recovery, hopefully. I mean, you've now gone over to Auckland to get the medical attention that you need as part of that recovery and the rehab, haven't you?
Physio here who worked with Team New Zealand and also has worked with some of the guys from this race, so very knowledgeable about sailing. Really the sort of decision was whether to go back to the UK and do the recovery or stay this side. But I'm hoping if it goes well, I can rejoin the boat in Hong Kong, or if not, it will be here in Auckland. So in order to speed up the recovery as much as possible, I decided to stay this side, not get on a 30-hour flight with a broken back. And hoping I can get back on in a few weeks' time.
But having to take it very easy now because you obviously don't want to damage it any further.
Yeah, that's been the tricky thing, I think, for me. On board, initially I was sort of immobilising in my bunk, but then quite quickly I started kind of going back into the water system, helping out inside the boat. And then I did end up going back on deck. In hindsight, that maybe wasn't that smart, but it's tricky when you're watching your teammates getting very tired and very cold. And you want to go and help out. And so I had been moving around. And then once I found out that I actually had broken the bones, then I was told I really needed to stay still so they could fuse together properly. The first order was 2 weeks of doing nothing and lying down as much as possible, and I'm not that good at that. I think Abby's comment was, "Oh no, this is the worst patient possible for that." I've had a lot of people looking out for me, and the team have been great, and also friends who live in Australia have all sort of clubbed together to look after me and been very strict at telling me to go and lie down if I spend more than an hour doing something, providing endless Netflix suggestions, books. So
there you go.
It's not all that bad. I've been in Australia and seeing with friends as well, so it's good. But it feels very weird to have not been in the gym or not had any physio or not be able to sort of do any work on it. And I've actually got a meeting in 2 hours' time, and I hope then the physio will say, okay, you're clear to start doing some activity and start some sort of proper rehab. And then I think I'll feel like I'm actually making progress.
Yeah, it must be very hard for someone who's as active as you are. And of course, that level of fitness too, because you have to be so passive. You feel that there might be some muscle atrophy. Do you fear that then because you need to get back on the boat, or you want to get back on the boat in Hong Kong?
Definitely sort of, there's 2 stages to this. One is seeing that the bones are mending. And then once they've kind of fused enough, then training again. And I definitely feel, I couldn't do much the last 10 days on board either, although even holding yourself on board upright is quite hard in those conditions. So I guess you are working, but certainly I think it's really important now to work on the core muscles and make sure I'm holding everything around the fracture. So I feel very lazy at the moment, and I've got to make sure that not only are the injuries fixed, but exactly that I'm back to 100% of fitness. And I mean, one thing that last leg showed, if anything, is that you really need to be 100% to be sailing these boats, because it's all on, a lot of the time. And you've got to be fit and strong, otherwise you're really not much use.
And of course, you wrote a blog about the incident and what it was like on board, having to be confined to your bunk for a while. And you find out who your very best friend is in life when they have to help you go to the toilet, right?
I wrote a blog a bit about sort of some of the, sort of terrible but also amusing moments we had when, things maybe you hadn't quite thought about how you're actually going to go to the toilet when you're sort of stuck in a bunk and you can't move, and the toilet's quite a long way away. Very difficult to get to even when you can move. The various sort of implications of taking different drugs offshore. I think I had a lot of messages coming in. It was amazing. Loads of support from lots of people. I think obviously the news must have gone out, and then people were sending emails to the boat, and really sort of overwhelming, lots of really nice messages. And but a lot of people clearly quite concerned, so I just wanted to share a little bit, how it was, and that it was bad, but also some of the sort of funny moments that we had, and also how good the team were around me. So that took up an hour when I was stuck in my bunk.
Gave you something to do. Yes. Are you still writing a blog about this whole affair?
The previous leg, I wrote something every day, which was actually for a different reason. A friend of mine is struggling hard with cancer at the moment, and she's being very positive about it. She's writing about it, and it's someone who I sailed with for my first Olympic campaign. She's incredible, and she was sort of writing something positive each day despite what's happening to her. So I said to her, okay, I'll try and challenge myself. We're always complaining offshore, that everything's terrible. So the food's terrible. We don't sleep enough. So on the second leg, I challenged myself to write something every day about the best thing of the day. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on the next leg what comes.
Well, I hope it's about the sport and not you being injured, of course. We hope you get back on the boat pretty soon. But despite your crew being one woman down, they did pretty darn well going on that leg into Melbourne. That must have felt good, regardless of your contribution at the time. I think, we started well. We were quite conservative. We were very conservative. We were, this last stop was a pit stop, which meant you weren't allowed to bring extra materials on or shore crew on. So really, if you damaged the boat, it would have a big impact on the next leg. So we were pretty conservative, possibly too conservative, and it lost us quite a lot of miles sort of in the first week. But then, once we gained our confidence and had got through the really, really big windy stuff, then we were going fast, and we ended up winning the 24-hour speed record and gaining a lot back, and unfortunately not quite enough to change the position at the end. But we gained lots of miles and going really, really well, so it was good. Yeah, very, very good indeed. And now you're in the middle of the pack as we record this, Annie. It's your friend Dee Kafari that you're chasing at the moment, isn't it, with Team Brunel? Are you glued to the tracker all the time? I mean, how does that feel, having to watch it and, live through it, but from the shore?
Yeah, it's quite a bizarre experience, although actually I did get to do it during the prologue because I was sick, and that time I think I was worse. I was just pressing update all the time, right. And now I know that won't be the kind of best way for me to get back on board quickly. So, for sure you end up watching it, and I think as much as I'm watching us, I'm probably watching everyone else more, because the good thing is you get to see all the images coming off and basically spy on what the others are doing. And right. We're only in leg 4, so we're still quite early on in the race, and there's still a lot to learn, and people are still doing things differently. You can see that. I mean, we're all going the same way, and people are going quite different speeds at the moment. So really interesting to have the time to be able to spy, look at any images the onboard reporters are sending off, maybe things they're accidentally including in images that teams might not want them to, and different setups, and so that's really interesting, and see what I can gain from that to bring back to the team, hopefully in Hong Kong.
So when you're actually racing, then you don't get a chance to see them unless you obviously through the binoculars, and they're not, they're within reach of you being able to see them from your boat. But you don't actually see them like the onboard reports that we get back on shore. Then how much access do you get to what the other boats are doing?
Yeah, we just know the 6-hourly sched updates, and that's it, unless we can see them. Yeah. So once you finish the leg, then often there's sort of quite a bit of time. People are scanning through the images from the leg, trying to gain something. But obviously you're trying to debrief and get ready for the next leg as well. So you haven't got that much time. So it's much easier with time right now to be able to look every day.
So are you able to give us anything, share anything about the team tactics right now? Because they're in 6th place right now. They've only got Scallywag behind them as we're recording. Of course, things change. They're heading up to the Solomon Islands, right? Still south of the equator.
Yeah. I think, there's still a lot to happen. And actually, the fleet's all pretty close still. I think Scallywag dropped back a bit this morning. But, the others are all within sort of 40 miles of each other. And I think we're within 10 miles of a couple other boats. So, we've got the equator to come, and that's a whole nother game. So I'm not too worried about it yet. I think that, as long as they just stay in there, then there's quite a few phases to get through yet before we start worrying about position.
And included in that, after the equator, there's the doldrums too, isn't there? And then you get into into the different trade winds. Just to give us an idea about how many different phases they do have to go through, Annie, before they get to Hong Kong.
Yeah, the doldrums are always tricky. I obviously haven't actually done this leg, 'cause last race we had a slightly different route, but when we were going north through the doldrums last time, we went from Cape Town to Abu Dhabi, but similar area, and it was awful. Those doldrums went on and on and on. The doldrums in the Atlantic are bad, but although we had a very good sort of doldrums crossing in this the beginning of this race, but I remember these doldrums being much worse. They're just sort of relentlessly no wind, no activity, not much, no cloud action, which in the Atlantic you can have. So at least you have some periods where you're going fast. And you're sort of just drifting along for about a week, I think. Very hot and very frustrating. So, it can be very tricky to get through. It can be a bit of luck, but also quite a lot of, it's going to be quite a lot on the navigators. There's going to be quite a lot on KP on seeing, how far east or west to go to get through them the best, and also picking way through the clouds. So a lot can happen in the doldrums.
And then once you get through the doldrums, what are you faced with going up to Hong Kong? Have you sailed that area before, Annie? Not on the Volvo, but in other races.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't sailed much up there, so I don't think I'm the expert on that. But it will certainly be, once they come out of it into trade winds, and then there'll be sort of a tricky part again going along the coast. And I think as you see into every sort of the end of every leg, there's often it condenses again when, as the boats approach land, and place changes happen quite late on in the leg sometimes in that part. Certainly in the last race, we saw that a lot with, boats finishing within minutes of each other as they approached. So I'm sure that part approaching the land into Hong Kong will be very tricky. With lots of opportunity. Or if you're behind, we like to say it's opportunity. Yeah. If we're in front, we like to say it's tricky.
Well, I'm bound to ask you this one thing about the mixed gender teams, the crews there, Abby. I was talking about this on the morning show here today, because there's more mixed gender teams on Olympic teams in different sports, both summer and winter Olympics. They're introducing mixed gender as well. How has it been in your experience? Because it seems to me that for some of the sailors who may not have been in a winning position in a race such as significant as this, that gives them an advantage to have that level of experience when they're sailing with men.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. It isn't really so much the gender, it's just that, there haven't been many women in the race before. So in order to sail, I'm sailing with a skipper, done it, 8 times or something. I mean, there's no women that have done that. So the only opportunity you have to do that is to sail mix. And that's a big positive, especially for the young girls who've now got onto boats for this race. I think it's brilliant that they get that experience. But on the other hand, there's lots of things that aren't that different. There's not really any magic, it turns out. It's the same, and I think there aren't that many differences, between different people as opposed to gender. Perhaps some people sort of feel the cold more, or struggle more, or have more endurance, and that's interesting as well to see. That's not really gender specific, or on our boat at least. It's just person by person.
Yeah, I think that's interesting, isn't it? When it does come down to it, and especially when you're performing at this level in sport, it is about your skills and experience combined, isn't it? Regardless of gender, and that must be great fun to be exposed to so much experience. Like, as you say, your skipper Bao Becker has 8 Volvo Ocean Races to his name. I mean, that must be extraordinary to be. Be able to benefit from that, especially, as you say, for the younger girls too. Yeah,
no, definitely. And I think also, a lot of top female sailors who are sort of in the race previously have either come from the Olympic sailing, or maybe single-handed sailing, but, because there haven't been women in the Cup for a very long time, or other America's Cup and other events, then again you can't draw from those experiences, because if you're in an all-female team. So the other bonus has been, I'm sailing also with Pete Burling, who just won the America's Cup, and Carla was on Oracle, and it's great to sort of hear what those guys have been doing as well, and just learn from different events.
Yeah, and we should mention that Peter Burling, who you just mentioned, who actually was on the grinder with you when you had your accident, and yet he didn't get hurt at all. Did he hit the rail with you, the back wire? Did he actually hit that?
No, that's sort of slightly not quite. I think it was slightly misconveyed. No, he was actually already at the back of the boat. He was holding the sheet that I was grinding.
Oh, I see.
So right. He got hit by the wave, but he was already he stood there. So he just got pushed more into sort of the back. He didn't move anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on then from the Volvo Ocean Race, because lots of other things have been happening in the world of women's sailing, not least of all the Sydney to Hobart race. Did you follow any of that at all whilst that was happening? Did you get a chance to keep an eye on that at any point?
I did a little bit, but unfortunately I was mostly in and out of casualty at that point, I think. So I'm probably not the best to update on that, but I know that that went really well, and I think Libby put together a great program there with Lisa, and
that was Lisa Blair, of course. Lisa Blair, we've had on the show, yeah. And
I've left before I've been able to see Libby, so I'm looking forward, hopefully in Hong Kong, to hearing all about that. And Libby is now actually got on board Scallywag, so it's brilliant. She's on one of the Volvo teams now, navigating, having just done the Sydney Hobart, so she's probably a bit tired. But yeah, looking forward to hearing about that in Hong Kong.
So what's happening right now, Annie, with the Magenta Project? You'll be, I suppose, having some time to keep up with it and the social media of Magenta Project.
Abby and I had sort of stepped down, obviously, while we were taking part in this race. But the good thing, well, not the good thing, but the good thing, I suppose, is that I've got injured at the right time, because Sally's actually now on board covering for me, and Libby's got on board, which leaves me on shore to help with the social media side. But we've had a number of other girls come in to help out with the project, which has been great, and really take it over while we've been involved in the Volvo. So I think you'll see that the social media has still been going out, and the interest is still flooding in, lots of messages every day or every other day.
And it really has picked up quite a momentum. You've got quite a following on social media with the project now. Do you have any plans? Do you know, I mean, obviously when you're absorbed in racing as you are with such a big race as this for such a long time, you probably don't see much beyond that, and what might be happening for the sailors that have come on board the Magenta Project. Do you have a sense of what you're planning for the future, or what the project is planning for the future? Because there seems to be a lot of opportunities that have been opened up since you started that project.
Yeah, it's been amazing actually, sort of the number of people that have come in to help, and well, yeah, I think it also perhaps shows that it's still relevant and still needed. But Abby and I stepped down as directors to allow new people in, and they've been, having monthly meetings to sort of create a plan for the future. But I think one thing's for sure is that the Volvo Ocean Race will be a sort of strong part of that. We've seen the impact the rule change has had now, and I think, a good thing that's come from this race is bringing all those girls together with the new girls. And actually, we had a meeting in Cape Town with everyone and with the new CEO of the race, and he was really asking all of us, what do we want for the future of it in terms of encouraging women, and how can he support us? So that's really exciting. I think the new CEO happens to be our old CEO from who ran Team SCA, and
SCA,
he's actually he's actually he ran AMA Sports as well, so he's had a strong legacy in getting women into the Volvo Ocean Race and really supporting them, which is very good news for us and for the project. So we're talking to him at the moment. Obviously, we're still in the middle of this race, but I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be good news for us going forward. And I think a big thing we've discussed certainly with the Volvo Ocean Race is the sort of big void that there is still between Olympic sailors or dinghy sailing, high level small boat sailing, and then it's great that the rule changed and they could step into the Volvo Ocean Race, but we're still missing this big part in the middle where opportunities on big boats for girls to really learn that kind of sailing. So it's early days yet, but we're talking to them about how we can maybe use these boats after the race for some training, and how we can help upskill a lot more girls who want to make that transition from small boats into sort of big offshore sailing.
Fantastic. And we should remind everyone, if you're not following the Volvo Ocean Race, that there's at least 2 women on all of the legs now. On all of the boats, there's 2 women on this particular leg 4 from Melbourne up to Hong Kong. And there are 5 with Dee Kafari, of course, and Liz Wardley, Elodie Matreau, Francesca Klatchik, and Annalise Murphy on Turn the Tide on Plastic. So then the others all have 2. So shall we go through them just to remind everybody? You mentioned Libby Greenell, Annemieke Bess on Scallywag, Stacey Jackson, Hannah Diamond on Vestas. Yeah. And on Mapfree, Sophie Sizik and Tamara Chagoyen. Yeah. On Dongfang, Carolyn Brower and Justine Batreau.
Yeah, and Justine, who's just got on for Marie this leg. Yeah.
Yep, just giving Marie a rest. And
well-earned rest.
Abby Ayler, of course, and Sally Barco taking over your place there on Team Brunel. And then on Axo Nobel, who was doing particularly well at the moment in this leg, Martine Grail and Cecilia Gret. So a really good, strong number of women there on all of the boats making their mark. That must feel good when you look at the representation of women after you knew the rules were changing, Annie.
I think it's great. And, at the beginning of the race, there's lots of maybe we'll just take one girl or maybe none. And now, to see that actually everyone's like, no, we should definitely have at least 2 on board. And, the great thing is it's opened up opportunities. I mean, unfortunately, Emily Nagel got injured in the last leg as well. And so, but that's opened up, for Cecile to be able to get on. Mm-hmm. And I'm really happy for Cecile. She trialled with Team SCA and she was just a bit sort of new to it at the time. But she's gone away and got a load of experience herself. She's sailed the Figaro, put together. It's very tough to find the money to do that, but she's been working really hard the last couple of years and it's paid off. She's now got on a boat. So, and I think they're in the lead at the moment. So, or then second. So
yeah, not doing too badly. Yeah, I think second right as we speak. Yeah.
So really excited for her to, so good to see someone who's worked so hard for this and to see it happen.
Yes, and was there anyone else then? You mentioned those who trialled for. She trialled for Team SCA. Were there any other girls that you got to know during that process that now made an appearance in this race, Annie?
Well, obviously Annemieke Bess, who's on Scallywag, was with us for a long time in Team SCA. And again, felt very sad for her. She sort of trialled with us for a year and didn't end up being in the squad. So fantastic to see her on Scallywag. And I know that they think she's brilliant and, she's really enjoying it with them. So I was very excited for her when she got that.
Well, good for her. Well, it certainly is exciting to follow this. You'll be back on the tracker, I'm sure, keeping an eye on everybody. And itching to get back on that boat in Hong Kong. Are you being sensible, though, Annie, for someone who's as active and ambitious as you are?
I'm about to go to the physio in about 10 minutes, and he's going to tell me, I think, where we're at. We'll have a few more scans this week, see how the fractures are. And I mean, if they haven't healed well enough, then I'm going to have to wait till Auckland. But we'll see. I hope to get back on, and mainly so I can give Abby a break as well. If I get back on in Hong Kong, then Abby will take the leg off, so I'll be with Sally.
Oh, will she?
And
okay.
yeah, and it's a really long race. It's a tough race, and I think we all realise that having a leg off is a big bonus. Yeah. So yeah. Abby, I'm working hard to try and relieve you.
All right, if you're listening, Abby, anytime. Absolutely. All right, well, thank you very much indeed, Annie, for joining us, and I wish you the very, very best of luck. I do hope that you rehab sensibly, though, and completely and soundly, and that you get back on the boat as soon as you would like. But do take care, and the very best of luck to you and the team and all of the women on the Volvo Ocean Race. It's been great fun watching you all, and I'm going to catch up with you in Newport, Rhode Island. I will be up there to see you in there.
Brilliant.
All right, Annie, you take care.
Thanks so much,
again.
Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now. And for more conversations from the world of women's sports, please visit us at wispsports.com, where you'll find blogs, articles and videos. And for more podcasts, you can download WiSP Sports Radio on any podcast player. There are over 30 shows, more than 750 episodes, and we're now reaching a global audience of 1.5 million. So there's something for everyone at WiSP Sports Radio. You can also follow us online at WiSP Sports. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can drop us a line to info@wispsports.com. And you'll find the full show notes accompanying this episode and links to the Magenta Project on the episode show notes at wispsports.com. Thanks again to Annie Lush for joining us from Auckland, and the very best of luck to her in her recovery and return to the race. Until the next time, thank you for listening. Goodbye for now.